So today we will be starting with a new lesson. Then afterwards, I will tell you what are the questions whichever left in the first lesson. I will tell you how to learn. Okay. So since it is a new week, the second week, we will start with a new lesson. Then we can go ahead with the revision of the older lesson. Fine, children. Okay. So you have come to 8th standard, you will understand that there are divisions in social. So long you were learning social science as together. Okay, but now onwards you should know that there are parts of social science like history, civics, and geography. So we have started with the geography lesson, our resources, and then we have completed that lesson. You have learned in that natural resources, man-made resources, okay, human resource, and everything. And now we are going to learn the history lesson. We are going to learn the history lesson, which is lesson number 1 in your book. Which is lesson number 1 in your book. So, first of all, before we get into that lesson, you should know about what is history. You should know about what is history. Okay. Suppose if somebody meet you some or you go to some relative's house after a long back. Okay, after a long back, you will go to your relative's house. You meet your persons in like positions of grandfather, grandmother, or some old people in that houses. Okay, so you may be talking many things, and you will be asking what happened, like how they were during their childhood days. Okay, in like Tamil, they will say உங்க காலத்துல நீங்க எப்படி இருந்தீங்க. So we used to refer the word உங்க காலத்துல, that is in your time. Okay, when you all were young, when you in your time, how you all were there, what kind of games you all were playing. So what you want to know from that question is, you want to know what happened in those days, how people lived in those days, what kind of games they lived in those, that is they played in those days. So all these informations you want to get from those old people. Okay, now we are playing some kind of games. We are playing some kind of games. We follow some kind of culture, and we do some kind of job, and our lifestyle is different from them totally. Yes or no? Our lifestyle is totally different from them. Very few persons are orthodox and they follow their culture without leaving it, some families, but our lifestyle is different. Do you accept it or not? Do you accept it? Yes, yes. So we, our lifestyle, everything is in those days. If the girl child was not allowed, all the girl children were not allowed to even come out of the house. But nowadays, there are no women left out without coming out of the house, because nowadays money is very, very important. So everybody has to work in the family, otherwise, we cannot run the family. In the same way, the economic situation has changed. Economic situation has totally changed. So because of that economic situation also, our culture is getting changed. Yes. So without working, no people can be idle at home. Some other work has to be done even by the old people. If they work only, they also can earn some money, and our lifestyle will go in a proper way. Imagine what will happen in the future. That is when you all become old, when you all become tata parties, what will happen? You will be telling your stories. You will be telling your stories to all the younger ones at that time. So, what we are trying to do, and we are conveying what happened during our grandma's days and grandpa's days. So, due to this, we are conveying the messages from generation to generation, and we compare ourselves how we lived in the past, how we lived in the present, how we are going to live in the future. How we are going to live in the future. So, comparison is there. So by this, we will understand that our history, family history. So knowing about the past, what happened, that is called what? History. So we can say that family history, or we can say that society history. Okay, what happened in the past is called what? History. It is a record of the past events. History is the record of the past events. Okay, and you would have learnt in your lessons like Mughal came to our country, Britishers came to our country, and before that, Rajas, Ranis, all the kings and queens were ruling our country. All that you know. How do we know all that? It is all because of the records. by orally or by written or through some traditional ways we come to know about what happened in the past. So all the histories of our country we know, all the histories of history of the whole world also we know that. Okay, it is all because of the records. If the records are not there, if nobody is going to say what happened in the past, we may not know what happened. Fine, children. So there are different kinds of history. Britishers divided the history into various ways. Mughals divided the history into various ways. So like that it happened. So in this lesson, we will be learning about history, how the history was divided by different persons, which division is accepted as the better one. Okay, all that we will be learning in this lesson. Fine, children. So let's get into the lesson. You will learn the lesson with the help of the slides. Okay, children. So in this lesson is how, when, and where. What is the lesson name? How, when, and where. How it happened, when it happened, where it happened. Okay. So how, when, and where. You can see here how, when, and where. Okay. Uh, Can you relate the picture? That is, it shows that what happened in the past and how the same man is cultured into like a modern man. He is also operating with the system, computer. So that is why it is given as a human being only, but there are a lot of transformations happen, a lot of changes happen. Earlier he was dealing with the stones, now he is dealing with the technology. That's the thing. So here in this lesson, you will be learning about periodization. Periodization of India's past means how the history is divided. How, how our history is divided into various categories. Then what kind of developments we had. Modern period, how was the modern period? Okay, how was the history during the British period? And what are the sources? Through what sources, okay, we come to know about the history, what happened in the past. Sources means the evidences. Okay, sources means evidences. Suppose we say no, somebody, if some of your friends says that like this it happened, immediately what we say, what we ask, where is the proof? So that proof is called what? Sources. That proof is called what? Sources. And here, meaning of history. So history is about changes that occur over time. Okay, finding how things were in the past and how things have changed. So history means it is a record of the past events which help us to compare the old ones with the new ones, or the ancient period with the modern period. And here, why do we need history? Okay, why we have to know about what happened in the past? No time, we have already lot of work. So why we have to know what happened in the past? Unless we know who are the family members in our family, we will not have any relations, okay, to move with. In the same way, unless we know about what happened in the past, we cannot even work, we cannot decide on anything. We cannot decide on anything. So, history is very much needed. So, that's what we will see now. Why do we need history? All events and certain developments happened in the past has no fixed date. Okay, has why it is given as has no fixed date? Because it happened that time they did not know. This is how we need the record. It will help the future generation to know about the kings and queens, up to who know about the people. But anyhow, after all these troubles also, many we have evidences, archaeological evidences we have. Some kings like inscripted, it was engraved on the stones, rocks. We have the rock pillars, edicts, and so many things are there. It was all carved out. And through that, we come to know about Ashoka pillar as a evidence. Okay, how they followed Buddhism, how Buddhism was spread out, everything. But certain people did not give the dates. And before that also we had many, like that evolution of human being. Okay, early human beings did not have any evidences. They did not leave any evidences for the future generation to know, because they did not know how to read and write. And that is why some of the events what happened during those early days, we don't have any dates or any history or any records. Okay, it is important to know about the dates because some historians wrote about the kings, their dynasties, when a ruler was born, when he or she ascended the throne. Ascended the throne means taken the position as the king. Okay, when a battle was fought, when they got married or died, etc. So when you learn history, you will be learning the years. This year, this happened. Okay, World War One happened from this year to that year. World War Two happened from this year to that year. Britishers ruled our country from this year to that year. So years are mentioned. So years are very much important. Years are very much important. Okay, just for fun, if somebody asks us, which is your birthday date? If we say, I don't know, how it will be? We have to know that. Okay, this is a very important event, so we have to remember the date, remember the year and everything. And some of the events which stored in our mind, for that we will remember the dates, we will remember the year, we will remember the month. Some of the events we just left it. We have not had a note in our mind. And very few people are having the habit of writing the diary, so those people will have the dates about them if any important event happened in their life. Okay, most of us don't have the habit. We are not having the habit of writing any diary. So very few events which is very important or which has affected our life, we may remember the year, we may remember the date. Okay, except our birthday date, some of the important dates in our life, we may not know. So these dates are very important. Okay, especially king's time, when the king was born, how he was, okay, when he has ascended the throne, when he got married, what kind of war he fought with whom they fought with, what happened at the end of the war, all that. To know about all that, dates are important. Okay, so history is very important to know about what has happened in the past. And here, history is not just about the rulers. So we have seen in the previous slide example about the rulers, kings and queens only. So it is not only about the rulers. It is very much needed for even the common people. Okay? And to know about their life. And dates no longer define the study of history. For the convenience of studying the past, historians who need to work with a sense of time divide history into different periods. Just for their convenience, the dates were introduced, but dates are also important. Okay, dates were also important because to arrange the events in a proper order, which happened earlier, which happened after that, and what is the incident happened later that. So in order to arrange the events in order, dates are important. In order to arrange the events in order, dates and years are important. So history is not only about the rulers, it is all about the common people to know about their social life, the way they lived, the economic condition they had, to know about everything. And here, criteria to periodize. Okay, criteria to periodize. That means let's see now what are the criteria they followed. Here, he is only called James Mill. Okay, you can see the picture here, James Mill. In 1817, a Scottish economist and political philosopher named James Mill. Who is he? Scottish economist. Okay, one of the economists who studied economics. Okay, and he was a political philosopher at that time. Which year he lived? 1817, that 19th century. Okay, 19th century. Now you all are in which century? 2021. We are in 21st century. So he was in 19th century, because you can see the year starting from 18. So 18 means the next one only we have to take. That is 19th century. Now we are having the year 2021. So our year starting with 20, we have to say our century as 21st century. Okay, because 20th century got over. Now we are in 21st century. That's why we have to say 21st century. And he published a book called History of British India. What was the book published by him? History of British India. In that book, the Indian history was divided into three periods. James Mill divided the history into three periods: Hindu period, Muslim period, British period. He believed that, strongly believed that, our country was ruled by the Hindus. After that only Mughals entered into India. Mughals means who? Muslims. Okay. Then from that time, Britishers conquered places and Britishers started ruling our country, India. So, according to James Mill, history was divided into Hindu period, Muslim period, and British period. According to James Mill, he categorized the history or periodized the history into Hindu period, Muslim period, and British period. Okay? And here, why? After some time, this periodization was not accepted by the people and the other economists. Okay? James Mill divided the history into three periods: Hindu, Muslim, and British period. But it was not accepted. It was not accepted. Okay, why? Let us see. It was not accepted by Indian historians because it did not prove a complete view on everyone. So there was no proof to say that only Hindus were the rulers, only Muslims were the rulers. Okay, so there was no proof. That is why people, the Indian rulers and Indian historians, did not accept it. Then James Mill divided Indian history in that way. But the periodization is not based on the religious line, that there was a phase for which the Hindu were the rulers and others were ruled. Okay, so what they have understood is he has only divided like that. We cannot accept it because we had the mixture of the rulers. Some parts were ruled by the Nizams. Okay, some parts were ruled by the Nizams. Even same time, some other parts were ruled by the Hindu rulers also. So it was not accepted. Historians did not accept. Okay, and same time, Buddhist people also lived in India. Jain people also lived in India, in different parts of our country. So we cannot say all those people as Hindus people. All those people as Hindus people. Okay. Children, somebody has unmuted your mic. Please mute it. Okay. And see, we can say that the British period, that alone can be accepted because the Britishers had the control of India nearly for 200 years. Only that can suit. Okay, for the Britishers alone it can suit, but not for the religious. Okay, not for the religious rulers. Fine, children. So because of these reasons, James Mill's periodization of Indian history was not accepted. So what happened? See, you see here, prior to the British rule, before Britishers took over India, there were Hindu and Muslim rulers who used to exploit India. Furthermore, India strongly believed in caste system, multiple religion, superstitious beliefs, etc. Okay? Superstitious belief, etc. And James Mill felt that only British rule could civilize India and teach them manners, arts, and laws. Before the Britishers came, Indian people were uncivilized. He made a statement that, James Mill made a statement that before the Britishers, all the Indian people were uncivilized. Okay, only after the Britishers came to India, they only introduced education, and because of that, only Indian people got civilized and they know how to behave. They got their manners. They learned their manners. It is all only because of the Britishers like that. He like underestimated the Indians. That is also one of the reason where the Indian historians did not accept James Mill. So now, okay, after that, they wanted to classify the history. So they made a classification of ancient history, medieval history, and modern history. Okay, ancient history, that is ancient period, medieval period, and modern period. Ancient period from 4000 BC to AD 500, medieval history from AD 500 to 1500, and modern history is 1500 to present day till day. Okay, that is 2000 till 21, like that. So from there you can imagine now. See, now already 2021 years gone. Before that, 4000 years. Imagine, so nearly around 6000 years earlier, from that time it is taken. Okay, 6000 years earlier it is been taken. So 4000 BC to 500, 500 to 1500, and 1500 until date. So these are the classifications of Indian history, and this is the mostly accepted Indian history. This is the mostly accepted Indian history. And it was borrowed from the West, from the Western countries, because Western countries had the classification of history like this. So following them, we also have divided our Indian history into ancient, medieval, and modern. And this is the most accepted periodization. Okay. So we learn about this Mughal rule in India later. If you have any doubt about this, you can ask me now.
No doubts, ma'am.
You should not unmute. You
No
can
doubts, sir.
just, children, please don't unmute your mic. You can send the messages in the chat box. Okay, so let's see the Mughal rule in India. And this is the British rule. Just pictures I'm showing you. And after that, we got an independent country. So this is the periodization, Mughal rule, British rule, and independent India. Then several developments during the modern period. What kind of developments we had during the modern period, we will see now. Several regional kingdoms came up. European trading companies entered into India, took advantage, and fought with each other to establish their settlements and gain power. Okay, so during the modern period, what happened? Lot of developments happen. Same way, lot of wars also happen, because many European powers, many European countries found out that India has lot of resources. In order to exploit all those resources, they wanted to capture India and to rule over India. Okay, and same way they captured India and started ruling over India, and they took out all the resources and used for themselves. They built up lot of industries, okay, and used all the resources for their country's development, for their country's development. Okay, And EEIC. Here EEIC means English East India Company. EEIC means what? English East India Company. They got victory and established full economic, administrative, and political control over India. That's what I said. Lot of wars happened, and finally India were under the control of the Britishers. That is English East India Company. First of all, they came to India to have the trade with India. Okay, to have the trade with India. Their ultimate aim, first motive and the last motive, all the motive was to exploit all the resources which are found in India. So they entered as the traders to India. Slowly they started capturing all the places. They set up their company, English East India Company in India. From there, they started expanding their territory. Okay, and one fine day the whole country was under their control. That is what is given here. EEIC got victory and established full economic, administrative, and political control over India. After that, it was called as the colonial rule. The colonial rule started in India, and India was totally exploited. Okay, all the gold reserves were taken out, mineral reserves were taken out, everything was taken out, and it was used by the Britishers only for the welfare of their country. Okay, yes, so there are a lot of changes in India. The Indians lost their culture, their social status gone, economic status also gone, everything, all status, all everything went under Britishers' control, colonial control. Okay, fine, children. I hope that till this you have understood. We will continue the class tomorrow in the next class.